Good morning and blessings, and welcome to Harvest Church DeForest. This is Harvest News for the week of Sunday, February 13th. I'm Pastor Vaughn. Our small group has officially begun discussion on the Gospel according to Mark. This Gospel account was written for a Roman audience and gets to the point pretty quickly. And did you know that Mark uses the word immediately more than 40 times in his Gospel account? Small group meets Wednesday nights here in the sanctuary, beginning with a light meal at 6 p.m. The Gospel of Mark is only 16 chapters, so it won't be long before we move on to the next Gospel account. See me or Pastor Kent with any questions about small group. Harvest News will return in a moment. I want to talk briefly about something that might only be noticed by our online audience. Occasionally, our worship music is muted because YouTube and Facebook will claim we are violating copyright laws. I want to assure you that we are following the rules. We purchase our worship videos from vendors who have given us permission to stream their videos. We pay for a special streaming license. And when we relay this information to Facebook, the muted segments are usually restored. We're not really complaining about this process. Protecting copyrighted music is the right thing to do, as is paying for the right to use that music in our worship. But if you are watching us online and our worship music gets turned down, it's because Facebook and YouTube are too careful, and not because we aren't being careful enough. And speaking of worship music, here's something I'd like you to do for me. When our worship begins in a few moments, pay attention to the lyrics. Pastor Kent and I look for music that supports the sermon or other events in the service. See if you can get an idea for today's sermon based on what we sing about this morning. And that's all for this week's edition of Harvest News. This is Pastor Vaughn, reminding you to be loved, love God, love others, and follow Jesus. Now it's time to stand up and worship.